Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, Jedi and Sith, to another video. Today I'll be showing the viability of my go-to bounty hunters, some good news, and to wrap it all up, a breakdown of the Imperial Probe Droid Galactic Bounty mission. But before we do all that, my Gear 10 Mando, Gear 9 Boba, Gear 7 Jango Fett, Bosk, and Greef Karga have a bounty on the Relic 2 Gear 13 Yoda, a Gear 10 Ahsoka, and Gear 7 Bastila Shan Jedi Training Ray, and Numenera Undula. Right off the bat, you can tell that this Grandmaster Yoda is going to be a pain, as he already has taken out Boba Fett. Pretty much anyone who's going to die on this is going to be killed off because of Yoda. Fortunately there, he targeted Mando, so I was able to revive with Bounty Hunter's Resolve. However, there's no way for Mando to regain that, so I'm going to protect him with Bosk. Now, no debuff, so I'm just going to call Boba Fett to assist, so we can hopefully get more critical hits and get that rolling, because shortly we should be able to get it as we're growing closer and closer, and there we go. Now, the goal here is just to try and survive for as long as possible, and hopefully Yoda won't target Mando, so we can then annihilate him. But he takes out Greef, which hurts, but, oh, and also Boba Fett. And now it's time for Mando to avenge his fallen brothers. The rest of this should just be an easy cleanup for the rest of these bounty hunters, so we're going to take our time, and hopefully they won't kill off Mando. I'm looking at you, Ahsoka. From here, we're just going to protect Mando until he can get another Disintegrate, which will most likely be Ahsoka since she is Gear 10. And here we go. With that bounty out of the way, we're now going to move on to some good news. As you've probably heard or seen, the Y-Wing has been released, and also there's been a lot of pointers to being more Empire Strikes Back celebrations, stuff coming through. Like, this is only going to be the first, so that is very exciting. I made an entire video about that. The card will be in the top right hand corner, but just to kind of summarize again, the Y-Wing is a solid counter to Houndstooth, who has been a pain since the release of the Houndstooth pretty much. But also, I'm seeing some anti-Empire, because Gar Saxon gives protection up, and so does Emperor Palpatine's shuttle. So it'll be interesting to see if they're going to add more, like a TIE bomber. We see that in Empire Strikes Back. Also, they've been continuing since then to give us more, like, they're listening to us. They gave us the drop rate of the actual Y-Wing ship in the Galactic Chase, which is very low and is kind of laughable, because it's a 2% chance of it dropping, and the explanation for that is because back in July they changed the refresh rate and also the price to refresh to be the same as regular energy, which was half of fleet energy, and so they cut the percentage of a Galactic Chase dropping in half. So we originally had 4%, and now they've cut it to 2%, which is ridiculously low, but they responded to our questions and gave us feedback, which is a great first step in helping the community recover, especially when they were so quiet for so long and we got nothing. So it makes me excited that they're even taking time just to deal with something that, as a community, we want an answer to. What's going to happen when they actually have stuff that they want to tell us? So that, to me, is really exciting, and it'll be really cool to see if they keep it up and keep giving us some information. This territory battle recording coming to a close, let's move on to the Galactic Bounty mission. Now, right off the bat, I'm going to be honest with you, Mando's lead is not going to be the best, or any lead that wants critical hits, because of Shore Trooper giving the Empire crit immunity. For me personally, Jango Fett lead was the best, mainly because his contract gives everyone Bounty Hunter's Resolve. However, I could definitely see Bosk's lead working, or even potentially Boba Fett's, because he's giving them so much bonus protection. To be honest, I'm not really familiar with Greef's lead, but I picked Jango's because he gives everyone Bounty Hunter's Resolve when the contract is achieved. Also, his contract is very quick, And once you get it, annihilate Stormtrooper, just get him out of there, get rid of the healthiest character, because that you won't need disintegration for the next battle. Round 2 is the easiest, and you're going to be using round 2 pretty much to regain banners. This is the hardest, like this, not the hardest, but it's a hard start. Then 2 is easy, and 3 and 4 are a pain. Here you're going to pretty much start charging up Mando's disintegration ability again, and also you're going to try and avoid using Grief's abilities, except for the one that gives retribution. And I mean, you can use the one with the buffs too, just to give yourself more protection, because you do want to recover protection banners, especially with the barrage that you're going to have to face here in a little bit. You can tell I'm doing this because here I'm going to let Jango Fett take him out, recover protection, and pretty much we're going to be able to go into this next phase with full health and protection, and that is what you want every single time. Also, if there's debuffs, you're going to want to call Jango Fett to assist every single time, because his lead is attacking debuffs, and if there is a debuff, his basic gets to attack twice. We're going to call Jango to assist here on the Death Trooper, because these Death Troopers are going to be a pain. Now, we got lucky there in several other testings. We were not able to get rid of them, and in the next clip, you're not going to be able to get rid of the Death Trooper this time. Again, we're fortunate because we were able to land ability block, which rarely happens on these Death Troopers, and then it makes it even more pain because they're applying healing immunity, they're dispelling buffs, and they're trying to kill you. And because of their second special, if they use it and defeat Boba Fett or Jango Fett or anyone, they won't revive. And now from here, we're just going to take out this tanky Shore Trooper. Pretty much the only specials you're going to want to use are going to be his Jango's flame ability, because it reduces his max health. Now this is where Mando's disintegration is going to come in handy. You're going to be tempted to get rid of Death Trooper or get rid of the Imperial Probe Droid, but who you want to get out is Shore Trooper, because him giving out crit immunity, healing the team, and taunting is going to be a pain, and you're just going to want to get him out of there. As you can tell right there, there's what I was talking about with Death Trooper taking out the team. Because he's able to kill Boba Fett off, there's no revive. As you can see here, I'm trying to decide who I want to go, but the best choice is Shore Trooper, because you just don't want to worry about that taunt or the crit immunity anymore, because it greatly damages your offensive output. It's not looking good for Mando, but remember, we've been charging up Grief's cooldowns and letting them reduce, so that then, here in a second, we'll be able to heal him back up. And there we go. We just got 4 turns, so we're going to try and be careful and not kill off the Probe Droid, but Jango gets a little trigger happy. So technically the Probe Droid could use its explosion ability, and I don't know how much it does, because every single time I was able to kill it off before it did it. Fortunately, it removes a bunch of turn mirror from us to start off. I'm trying to get protection back, and there we go. This event does recommend Gear 10, but I'm going in it with Gear 7s, Gear 8, and Gear 9, and 1 Gear 10. So you're definitely going to be able to do it, especially if you have a better Bosk. Every time, start with Jango's flame ability, and then with Mando, call Jango to assist on a person with a debuff, because then Jango will get attacked twice. And then we're just going to try and get this contract to trigger now, so that then we can hopefully be able to get through the second phase really easy, which we often do, and then which sets us up nicely for round 3. I actually mess up here in a second because I don't annihilate or use the disintegration ability right off the bat, but I do it later and it's fine, because pretty much this round's a set match. This phase will be easy, so we'll phase 2, and so I've just sped this up because it's pretty simple. You're just trying to get rid of everyone else. Same with this one, you're trying to get everything up, trying to regain protection banners. You can tell Bosk is taking a lot of damage, which is hurting, and so I'm trying to use Grief's abilities to regain protection, which actually kind of hurts us, because right here, Jango Fett doesn't take him out, and all I can do is gain retribution, and then boom, boom, two kills, 2 in a row, and I was like, are you kidding me? But that just shows you gotta be careful. You can't always rely on it being a critical hit, because that was the problem. There was not a critical hit, which then led to the Death Troopers being able to take out Bosk. And I was very worried about this, because Bosk is a very key part. He helps keep the heat away from everyone else in this next battle, the next round to come, and so it's very worrisome. But this, we're still able to get out of it pretty decently, only losing Bosk, and it just takes a while to get through Shore Trooper because he's just an annoying tank. Now, because we have the disintegration ability still, but we need the crit chance or crit damage, so we need to wait out so then I can get rid of Shore Trooper. And so I call to assist here Grief, which actually I meant to click Jango, but I ended up clicking Grief, and I use the ability on the far right instead of the middle one, so I can cleanse everyone up and give protection. I tried to ability block Death Trooper to no avail, but the important part is that Mando now has crit chance and crit damage, and so we get rid of Shore Trooper, so I don't have to worry about that anymore. We dispel the buff of crit immunity from Death Trooper, and then kill him off, gaining a bunch of extra buffs, and so then we just start trying to take out the rest of the team. And the Imperial officer actually surprised me, because right there he took out pretty much twice Boba Fett. I'm like, wow, wish we had him. Who knows, maybe we'll get him for Empire Strikes Back. But he ends up killing off Boba, even though I'm trying to leave him alive, so Boba Fett could have killed him, but Imperial Probe Droid came in instead. Well, thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed, and leave a like or a comment. And as always, this has been the Grand Admiral, end transmission.